Warning, there is a good chance Bitcoin Mike has no idea what he's talking about. Do your own research. Enjoy the show. Thank you. All right. Let's do a little Bitboy commentary. It looks like Bitboy is admitting to getting a letter from the SEC. I guess when you promote scams for years and years and years that not only are they scams, they're mostly unregistered securities, you might hear from the SEC. Let's take a look at Bitboy's reaction.
You can tell from my voice. A lot going on right now, guys. Very concerned. Very concerned. I got a letter from the SEC last night. Don't know how long it had been sitting, waiting for me to get back. Excuse me. Terrified right now. Gary Gensler has now came knocking at my door, wanting documents. Very scared, Gary. I'm very scared. All right.
Can you imagine getting a letter from the SEC after you promoted all these scams? I mean, here's just 7. Bitboy has been involved in 7 crypto scams in the past few years that almost all got exit scammed or rug pulled. He's deleted the videos regarding these scams. They're all right here. Of course, he was taking $35,000 to review the scams, $20,000 to do a live stream, $40,000 for a YouTube interview. Here's a few of the scams right here. Video right here of him doing it. The SEC is probably called on. Wouldn't be surprised. And they send him a letter, and his reaction is to laugh in their face. Anybody remember Martin Skagel, folks? Let me pull that up for you real quick. Anyway, Martin Skagel is a guy who, of course, he's the guy who raised all the drug prices, but that's not why he got arrested. I actually agree that he should have been able to do that as a CEO, but he had a hedge fund and he was scamming people. So Congress brought him to testify, and he was doing this the whole time, just laughing at them. Well, the end result for that was he just got out of jail. It's been 7 years. He got 7 years in jail. Kind of reminded me of Bitboy right here. When the SEC and the government are on you, it's probably not good to laugh in their face. Okay, so that's here. I mean, I don't know what this letter is regarding with Bitboy, but I would assume he's been involved in a lot of improprieties over the last couple of years. So let's see what else he has to say.
Listen, so I did get a letter from the SEC. This is true, actually. I'm obviously not scared. My voice is a little jacked up from being at all these parties in Miami this week and having to speak over loud music. Before I tell you what it's about, we are going to have our lawyers look at it because it's just standard practice. It's what you should do. And I want other influencers to understand while the SEC is low IQ and Gary Gensler is a lizard person, if you do get a letter from the SEC.
Can you imagine you're calling Gary Gensler a lizard person when he's the guy who has the direct power to probably prosecute you and put you in jail? Now, I could see Bitboy acting like this if he did nothing wrong and he knows it's completely bullshit. But you were promoting scams for the last few years, my friend. Now, maybe you didn't know they were scams, but you did take money to promote them, and many of them were probably unregistered securities. And now you're calling Gary Gensler a lizard person. That's your response to the SEC letter. He's low IQ and a lizard person.
You should have an attorney look over it. And unfortunately, a lot of people that would get letters, they may not be in the same financial position that I'm in or that some other people are in. And, it's going to cost you money just to have a lawyer look at it. We fortunately have many lawyers on staff, or not necessarily on staff, but on retainer, because that's what you do when you have a big business, especially in an emerging technology sector, like finance or whatever the case may be. So here is my reaction. I will start by giving you my reaction to the SEC letter from Gary Gensler. That's my
famous last words, Bitboy. Can you imagine, folks? Bitboy thinks he's such hot shit now because he made a couple $1 million in the last couple years with crypto, mainly for promoting these scams. He thinks he's untouchable. All these guys, I made a video 6 months ago, all these guys like Bitboy end up eventually in the gutter. This is so irresponsible. I wouldn't be surprised if this video gets taken down That's why I want to make a reaction video right now. But Jesus Christ, I mean, you almost feel bad for the guy. Is he like trying to get? Is he trying to put himself in prison at this point? Like I said, when you make a certain amount of money and you have that kind of personality, you just think you're untouchable. And Bitboy thinks he's completely untouchable right now. Look at him with his sunglasses and his $100,000 car. He just got back from Miami. He's not afraid of the SEC or the government. Has that ever worked out in anybody's favor in history, folks? Has it ever?
Reaction. That second one was a real cough. Guys, I ain't scared. I don't know if people can tell. These people are scammers. Gary Gensler is a scammer.
He's a scammer. Bitboy, you promoted all these scams over the last couple years. How can you call Gary Gensler a scammer? We have documentation. You're the scammer. I mean, talk about the balls of a scammer calling the SEC a scammer. Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. This is why I find Bitboy to be fascinating, because he's just so out of touch of reality.
And you know what? I think if you really look at what the SEC is doing right now, they are trying to rule by enforcement. And I will tell you this, I don't think it's a coincidence, okay? I'll tell you this. I don't think it's a coincidence that people are going to see our bill. We have the funding for the bill. The bill's going to be coming out soon. We're super excited about it. Can't wait to show it to you. Who is our bill in direct opposition to? The SEC. Our bill is direct opposition against the SEC. Sam Bankman-Fried had been meeting with Gary Gensler for 6 months. Okay? If you guys watched my video yesterday, I'm telling you guys, our bill, not that it's passed already, it's not even public yet, sending our bill to FTX for funding is what triggered the entire thing, the entire reveal of the insolvency of FTX. It triggered the whistleblower to send the documents to the places he sent it to, to the places the whistleblower sent it to, including CZ, including CoinDesk. All this was triggered by Sam and Mark Wetjen of FTX reading our bill. They're terrified of it. They've been working for 6 months with the SEC in order to control crypto. And guess what? They get our bill and they see our supporters. We know because they tried to steal one. And they go, oh, crap. Like, we need to get moving on this or we are screwed. All this work we've been putting in with dirty Gary Gensler at the SEC is going to be for naught. So there are forces working with us higher than Gary Gensler. I'll tell you that. We have had some level of contact with the highest offices in the land, if that makes sense to you. People are going to find out we have not been playing games. While people have been out there memeing and, intentionally attacking me and have, long-haired, hippies pretending to be liberals that I actually know are super, super conservative, actually. You have these YouTubers with these big followings making all these videos, trying to be these liberal patsies and stuff. But in reality, I know that this person gives a ton of money to conservative, conservative policies, which is fine. I'm conservative, but you got a lot of these people out there faking and pretending right now, trying to make me look bad. And why is this? It's because we are attacking and we are going at some of the highest people in the country who want to control, some of the most corrupt people in the country that want to control your money. They want to control your tax dollars.
So anyway, that's pretty much it with Bitboy. It just really is fascinating to me how the guy can promote scams for 2 years straight. Now for the last couple months, he's changed, right? He's out to help everybody, and the SEC has now sent him a letter. Well, folks, that's how long it usually takes. Usually when you do something against the government or break a rule, it takes a couple years for the SEC to finally get around to sending you a letter or basically prosecuting you or whatever they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do with Bitboy. But I told you guys months ago that the SEC was sending out letters. I knew that for a fact. They were sending out letters to certain YouTubers for promoting all the scams. That's why the US-based YouTubers don't promote Bybit anymore or anything like that. And they don't do the scam tokens. They didn't stop promoting scam tokens because they feel bad about you. They just know the SEC is watching. All the other foreign YouTubers still do it. You just can't get away with the United States anymore. So here we are. We have Bitboy. Spent years, like I said, during the scam. Like I said, you have a guy like Bitboy, promoted scams for the last couple of years, whatever, took money to promote scams. A lot of them are rug pulls. Finally, the SEC is on top of them, and according to Bitboy, it's all because it's a grand conspiracy, according to Bitboy. The Gary Gensler just wants to stop Bitboy because Bitboy is exposing how Gary Gensler worked with Sam Bankman-Fried, and Bitboy is the savior, and that's why Gary Gensler's coming after him. It has nothing to do with all the scams that he promoted over the last couple years, all the complaints filed to the SEC, most likely from people who got screwed from buying these scams. Nothing to do with that. This is what happens with all the scammers, folks. They always make it about them. Kevin Trudeau, Don Lepre, Carlton Sheets, Martin Skagel, the guy I just told you, the pharmaceutical guy. They always say it's a grand conspiracy. The government's coming out to get them, and then they end up going to jail for 10 years. All right, folks, like and subscribe. Have a good weekend.